Welcome aboard to podcast 40 in the series of the Voyage to Back Yonder. We finished up last episode with completing the Judge Your Neighbor worksheet from Byron Katie around a situation that was bringing me stress at work. And it's a great tool, so if you're wanting to give it a try to bring more peace to your path, you can find it for free at thework.com. I wanted to provide that tool because one of the biggest challenges in this game of life on your voyage to back yonder is dealing with ourselves and our thoughts about who people should be. Arg! And suddenly we feel the pirates have stolen our peace and our happiness. And I love the process of the Judge Your Neighbor worksheet because it brings a truth to me that people will show me how I feel about myself. If I'm thinking a person is so negative that I seldom want to hang, out around them and can barely stand to interact with them, I can ask myself, what is that all about? Is this mirror showing me my own negativity? What could be really happening here? When we interact with others, our fear ego loves to come out to play. It likes to judge ourselves against them, telling us about our own worth and who we are. Even if we think we have our self-worth under control and are confident in who we are, we can also ask ourselves why we think we're confident. The whispers will come from our fear ego. Look at that person. See how you don't act that way. Look over at that other person. See how you haven't made that mistake or how more aware you are than them. When we're in the mindset of comparison, then we're in the world of conditional love and fear. When we look at someone else and see them as less than they are supposed to be, then our fear ego is judging them. And I've found so far that there are 3 reasons that my fear ego does this. The first reason is my reaction to fearing being rejected and unlovable. I evaluate other people's existence against my own in order to know where I stand on the lovability scale. I fear being on the bottom of the list because I fear that eventually I'll end up last on the list and I'll be deemed unlovable and be rejected from the tribe. And the second reason is because, I'm a being made of unconditional love. So I also have a tendency to try to keep others from being rejected by the tribe. And I do this by trying to make them act the way I think they should act because of my conditional love laws that are in my head. My conditioning tells me that this is the way we should act, and when we don't, punishment comes. Because I love that person, I don't want them to go through that. So I try to help them. And the third reason is that my fear ego tells me that in order for my life to be perfect and in order for me to be acceptable, every item on this conditional love law list of rules must be maintained. So when I'm in fear, I try to control everything that's going on around me so that I can ensure that the list of demands is met. And of course, among this list is usually a wonderful requirement called everyone must be happy. So when I'm in fear, I try to make sure everyone is happy. And that happiness is also conveniently described on my list of conditional love laws. This and that and that and that means someone should be happy. And when someone isn't happy, then they need to be corrected. And I think I am the one that needs to do it or should do it. And when the other person resists, well, be honest, we all resist people meddling in our lives because that might upset our own individual conditional love laws. So when the other person resists me trying to help them, I might try to strong arm them into doing what I want them to do through the manipulation tactics, which are being hurt when they don't do what I want them to do, getting angry when they don't do what I want them to do, or giving them the silent treatment when they don't do what I want them to do. The wonderful thing is that I have little control over what anyone else will choose. So when someone doesn't choose to obey me and act the way I think they should, then I eventually become worn out, and then I reject them. So the very thing I was trying to protect them from, I do to them. I try to change them. When they don't fall in line, I can't stand seeing my failure or having a flaw in my story about what life is supposed to look like. So I remove them from my story. You're fired. Or I spend less and less time with them because I can't stand to look into that mirror where I see my own negativity. Yes, here we go. We're getting to the root now, aren't we? If I really want to help others, what each of us is truly seeking is unconditional love. We won't really find that love outside of ourselves in the physical world while we're here in fear, because we all have our fear ego guide with us on this journey until we pass back over to back yonder. We'll always have that devil on our shoulder, trying to keep us in the game of fear. It's what we hired it to do, and it's not evil. Fear and conditional love is what we came here to experience. Now, we can make it an easier or harder choice for others to choose unconditional love. Neither is wrong. Neither choice is right. It's just a choice about what we want to experience and what character we want to play in someone's life. It's just a game, after all. This life isn't real. It's just a wonderful play that is full of so many unique characters played by so many amazing supernatural actors. So when I think someone is being negative, I'm in judgment comparison mode, which is an indicator that I'm in the fear game. When I'm in fear, my only responses seem to be either fight or flight. And I'll either fight to try to change the situation to match what I think it should be and defend it with all my might, or I run and reject. Could it be that when I don't like how someone acts and I stop hanging around them, that I'm running from my own reflection? Maybe I don't want to see how much I'm judging others and myself. Maybe I don't want to see circumstances that are not meeting up to my should be. Sometimes we can be at a place in our journey where we want to wake up more and release these conditional love laws. And in those moments, we get brave and we stop running in fear. We force ourselves to spend time with people we may not like or be in situations that we're uncomfortable in, so that we can find out what we don't like about ourselves, how we're judging ourselves. And when we see what this like and dislike is all about, judging ourselves, we can question our beliefs about what we think should be. We can question what we think others should be or how they should act. And we can question what we think life should be. And in that questioning, we begin to see the beliefs rooted in the fear of rejection. But we also begin to see more of the roots of unconditional love. Maybe we can reach a point in our life where we can sit within a group of humans and see the higher being that is behind each of these characters they're playing. Maybe we can let that person be that character, act as they will, without it causing ripples of emotion in us. Of course, as we go through the journey of understanding all of this, we'll definitely feel emotions, and we may even still react to them as we learn and we grow. The emotions are not wrong. The emotions are not right. Right and wrong are judgment. Emotions just are. They're experiences, the exact thing we came here to consume. Emotions are leaves floating by us in the stream of consciousness. We can pick them up and look at them closely, feeling the texture with our fingers and feeling them in our heart. We can bring them to our nose and inhale the aroma. We might even lick the leaves with our tongue and maybe even take them in our mouths to chew on for a while. We can bring those emotions to our ear and crumple them to hear the sound that they make. And then when we're done with that emotion, we can put it back in the stream and let it flow away. The memory of the emotion always staying with us to recall if we want to. Or we can consume those emotions and poop them out later. We get to decide how long we hold on to that emotion. We get to decide how long we hold on to that emotion. When we're sitting in that group of people and our heart feels a prick of pain, that's an indicator that our fight or flight mode is activating. That feeling can be used as a flag that we're entering the realm of fear. Again, this is the ebb and flow of this life experience, moving into fear and out of fear and back into fear to come back out of fear. The land of fear reveals itself as the ocean of unconditional love recedes. There are beautiful seashells to see on the shore of fear, jellyfish to step on, seaweed to throw at a friend. All such lovely experiences. The more aware we become of our emotions, it strengthens our ability to choose to not pick up every emotional leaf that floats by in the stream. We're able to sit in bliss and peace as emotions burst around us and others. We have the ability to just witness what's happening without igniting our need to fix something that is not broken. We're able to see every situation as perfect when we see that life happens for each of us and not to each of us. Until next episode, maybe take a look at a situation that you feel is negative. Is it possible that the situation isn't really negative? Could it be that this situation was designed to push you and challenge you to let go of judgment and release the conditional love laws that are keeping you out of the now? Fear will draw us into the future and into the past. So if we aren't in this moment feeling the wholeness of unconditional love, then we are in fear. What are we fearing? Why are we fearing it? Why am I being negative about negative people? Why am I complaining about people who complain? Why am I judging people who judge? Questioning is what brings us freedom. Enjoy your voyage, Captain. I love you.